Boom. All right, we rolling, bro.
I want to hear how I sound.
Elihandro in the house. What happened?
All right, yeah.
Were you saying you like the mic setup or?
Bro, it's like a kid in a candy store, bro.
Yeah. I love it too, man. That's why you wear these headphones. You just plug right in to the matrix, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
sick. I have one of those, but like it has like 20 different things that you can plug into it.
Yeah, man. That's our old one still. I don't even think
That's
it
in the
has.
M4 we're talking about, right?
No.
Huh?
M4?
Like the M4 chip laptop?
No. Oh, that's what you get, an M4 laptop.
Yeah.
The one I have is the M4 desktop.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah. No, but this isn't even an M4 chip in this laptop, I don't think. Let's look it up actually and see. So you're getting a laptop. That makes sense.
M4. Yeah, it's a laptop.
Okay.
The same
I thought-
like size, 16-inch. But I mean, it should be the same power, right? M4.
Yeah, man. You don't need, trust me, man. The laptops nowadays just be bad. I mean, I had this since 2021. I cut feature-length documentaries on this, all kind of things with this.
Yeah?
I mean, it's slowing down now because it's going on 5 years, but
Steve Jobs just like, nope, I gotta slow this down.
how long he been gone now?
Well, like
You remember
2
when?
years.
How long?
I said like 2 years.
No, man. Steve Jobs died longer than that, man.
Founder of Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean how long he been gone?
Yeah.
I thought you meant how long he been out of like the position.
No. The same thing,
Just
right?
like Michael Jackson, like they
Around that time?
They die. No, I mean they die, but they're still like alive. Like you know, he was the highest paid like musician last year. Michael Jackson.
Was that right?
Yeah, and he died. Like there's nobody else. Like people out there that are producing music, they can't even compete with him.
That's interesting.
Like, the legacy that he left.
That's very interesting, huh? Yeah, I wonder who owns the rights to his music.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I think he had bought the Beatles or something like that.
Yeah, he did bought the Beatles.
And
He bought these, yeah.
anyway, I can't see an M5 name on this, but hold on, let's bring it up on the on Google here. M5 Apple. So you not bought yours yet, then?
No,
I'll see it here.
November 21st.
What? November 21st. You got an actual date that you're buying it?
I fly out to Tampa.
Okay. Were you going to the Apple store? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Picking
So
up
this
a
way
part.
you're going to get, what, a 16-inch or?
Yeah, the 16.
Yeah, man. Should be nice 1 terabyte storage. You can get 24 gig memory or the 16 gig memory. I think you'd be fine either way.
Anything better than the 8 gigabyte that I use it now. I went to the Apple store and I told them I was editing 128 gigabyte projects on an 8 gigabytes RAM laptop, and they were like, "How hasn't your laptop blow up yet?" I was just like, "I don't know. It crashed 51 times last time."
It was really 51 times, or?
It was really 51 times.
Really? You counted?
I counted.
You sat there 51
because
times?
my friends were like, well, "The video isn't released yet." I'm like, "It's like I'm trying." So every time I fail, I write it down. So you don't get discouraged, or it just makes a better
So you
story.
don't that's why it is.
Yeah.
It makes a better story. Yeah. So 51 times it just crashed before the final
Literally,
export.
I'm on Final Cut Pro trying to edit and export the project, and it was like it just kept on saying file exports failed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, I don't give up, so I'm gonna go again, remove a frame, go again, remove a frame, go again. Yeah.
So you were
52 times.
removing frames?
Yeah, because it was like something about CV pixel buffet for frame. But at first it was telling me that, but I realized the real problem that it just lacks storage because it doesn't. Like I had a lot of repetitive frames for a lot of my projects, and it wasn't an issue. So I was just like, yeah, storage.
But that was the longest movie that you've done, right?
Longest film.
What?
Yeah.
And tell everybody what it is.
It's Where Did We Go? It's a short film about identity and cultural change here in the Cayman Islands. So it's basically it's based on a true story of mine. So halfway throughout the film, I was trying to think about how to end it, and I don't know. I just went to my life, and for some reason, a lot of Caymanian they can like relate to like some of the content that I post. So I said, okay, let me just take my life and put it in like a film form. So the last half of it, that was basically what happened in my life. Minus the falling in love with that girl at the end.
It's no fairy tale. But yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there. But no, I love the film, as you know, and that's why I reached out to you, and that's why we met for coffee the other day for the first time. And I was like, let's jump on a podcast and like hash all this out, because You're like the new wave of the Cayman Creatives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm part of the old wave. You know what I mean? But it's funny that the similarities between us are the same. It's the same story. It's the same archetype. That it's a Cayman creative. Went to study business, right?
Yep.
But he's a creative. So he out here
Can't hide it.
You can't hide it, and that's the part. And not even hide it. You cannot ignore it, because if you do, it's gonna blow up in your face. As a creative, you need to create. Otherwise, you just sort of wither and die.
Yeah.
You
just fall out of purpose. You just feel it out every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we've both had experiences like that when we weren't creating, right?
Yep.
So, and we're not the only ones. Like there's a
tons of other creatives out here.
Right.
I feel like engulfing yourself in a creative community is very important to keep creative.
Yeah.
Because if you're around people that are not creative, so you're creative, your creative starts to like change. You're like, his content isn't the same as how I once knew him.
Right. Right.
So I feel like creative environments are it's like a habitat for more creative ideas.
Yeah. And we kind of like mutually support each other just by existing, just by knowing each other.
Yep.
Because a lot of people feel alone. A lot of Cayman creatives feel alone. How many people have come to me and be like, oh, I didn't know that, so many people were, creatives in Cayman. I thought I was the only one. They always say that. And it just kills me. Like, how are we so disconnected? I don't understand that.
I don't know. But we're trying to build this community closer. We just, creatives stick together. They make it. I don't know. I fell into that same thing. I didn't know that there were that many creatives until I started Creative Films, and then people start reaching out to me on Instagram. DMs start getting flooded. I'm just like, oh, okay. I didn't know that the effect that I was making was actually growing. I thought I was just making films for fun. So, yeah. If you guys are watching, I appreciate you guys all.
Yeah, man. So we're telling where they could find you?
So you guys can follow me on Instagram at Elihandro Bodden. That's Elihandro Bodden. And same thing on YouTube, first name. I think a couple months from now, I might start like a production company name, but right now I just make films. That's what I do. I'm a filmmaker.
Not going to, whether they have a company or not, that's not going to change. So
not going to change.
So tell me how you found them actors again now. The main girl, who is she in the film?
And where did it go? That's Jalecia. Yeah. If you're watching right now, Jalecia, big up yourself. Tons of, like, she's, so crazy. The lead actress, she's never acted before.
Right. That was her first film.
Never acted before. But she told me, like, before I hit her up, because I'm not very good of a casting director. I'll literally put like a black mom and a white kid, and I say like, yeah, they're together. That's the mom. That's their daughter.
I love that.
But for this one, I still had black parents, and she's obviously light skinned, but it was supposed to be like an adoption type of thing, which is very common here in Cayman.
Is that what it was supposed to be in the film?
Yeah, I think they missed the line, but that's what was in the script, right, guys? But yeah. We just been mutual friends for a year, and I reached out to her on Instagram, and she was the topic of the message behind the film, she agreed with, so she agreed to do the film because it's like so real. When she read the script, she was like, yeah, I love it. So I guess, God finds the people, like you said. If you're there, they'll stay there.
And I know the mom, Gloria.
Yeah, Gloria, big up yourself, Gloria. I was just talking to her today.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, man. She surprised me. Actually, I didn't realize that she was, into acting and stuff until I saw your skits. Yeah. And then I realized I like Gloria bad though.
She bad boy.
Yo.
And she has like the creative, she's easy to work with as a director side. Like how like you would have something planned out for your scene and you would explain it once and somebody would just get it. Some other people you have to explain like 5-6 times and then have them like detach from the line and try to engulf them in the emotion before they say the line.
Right.
Gloria, she said that whatever mood you want me to be, I already went through that in my life. So if I have to be happy, sad, betrayed, heartbroken, I'm in my 30s. Like anything you want, I'll do it.
So she could tap right into it. That's great. That's great. But her husband now, where I know him from somewhere. Who? In the movie, not in real life.
Oh, kind of like Gloria. All right, George. He's another creative. I forgot where we met. He was a co-worker of one of my actors, Dante. He works at the cinema theater.
That's where I know him. The cinema.
Yeah, he works at the cinema, and he always been like interested in the films because his co-worker, Dante. He's one of my main actors for a lot of like the films that we make like about social issues, and he asked Dante that, like, it was like a referral. referral. So
Okay.
I met him outside the theater, and yeah, anytime I go there, I get free tickets now. Don't tell a lot of people though.
Well, yeah, I don't know how many people watch the podcast, but if they lasted this long, they'll hear that. All right, so let's look up the film. It'll pop up if I write your name on.
Should be okay.
This is the
that's the horror one.
The horror one. Where did it go? So it's very interesting actually with the film. You know, the topics that you touched on, like very often, you know, the characters are looking at like the high rises and, you know, all the homes in Cayman and sort of like, you know, talking about the cost of living and like, who are these people that live here? Yeah. They're not us. What does this mean? Like, are we being boxed out? Yep. So that's something that hits home for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it hits home for a lot of people.
So that film, I always hear a lot of people talking about like these problems in Cayman. I'm just like, how do I put everything that everybody's talking about in one film? That's what I did. Like, I just used to sit around people. Me and Mike, we go and watch people sometimes. Like whenever we're at events, we don't do anything of it.
Who's Mike?
Michael Barnes. He was a background artist in this one. He wasn't speaking, but he's in a lot of my films. And yeah, I sit down and I just watch people sometimes, and I just hear like the stories that they're saying, and I'm like, oh, they make a great film sometimes. Because Caymanians were natural born storytellers. I've learned that from a lot of my friends. Like, they just talk for hours. And they know that whenever they send me a 3-minute voice, so I'm not going to listen to the whole of it. I'll listen to the first 30 seconds or a minute. Well, after that, okay.
You don't even speed it up, or? That's what I do.
I do 2 times if it's like over a minute. And 1.5 is if it's under a minute.
Boy, you just remind me that George, another actor, George, you listen to George sent me like 6 voice notes, like 6 minutes long each. And I ain't listened to them yet. I just realized it now. It's been like a month gone by and I listened to them yet. But like, George, no guy.
It's so crazy because if somebody calls me for 6 minutes, I would rather that than listen to a 6-minute voice note. Because along that 6 minutes is probably, you could have probably cut off 3 minutes by just talking, by answering one of their questions.
Right.
You get me?
Right. Yeah. And so Jaren, how you met Jaren now?
Jaren, he's a friend of no, he's Michael's cousin. He's Michael's cousin, and I've never seen him act before, but if he's the cousin of Michael Barnes, he can act. I don't really, because Michael is probably one of the best actors in Cayman that doesn't have any formal training.
So which one is Michael now? What scene is he in?
Go through Ron Point scene.
This one, yeah?
Yeah.
By the way, this film is called Where Did It Go? I know he said it already, but just so you know, you can look it up on YouTube under Elihandro Bodden. Highly recommend it. I loved it. I was, like I told you, I was watching your stuff, and I was waiting for the sound, like I told you. I was like, well, you know, the sound needs some work.
The sound needed work in the past few films.
But eventually everyone figures it out, you know, and then you figured it out on this one, and then like, you know, just...
Oh, there he is. That's Michael right there.
Okay, yeah, I seen him in some of the other stuff that you did.
Yep.
Yeah, man, he's pretty good. He was the guy that was on the one of the skits that you did that was working for CUC or something.
He was working for like a random construction company. You know, so crazy, that construction vest I found on the road. I pulled over and I picked it up, and the guy that actually dropped it turned around. He's like, "Wait, that's mine." I drove off. Oh no, he like get it back. Let me just use this and make like a viral video, and then you can get it back, which I did, and I did return it. So let me just borrow it. I'm not gonna take it.
That's filmmaking right there. That's funny. Doing what you have to do to get it done. Nama, he's good. I seen him in a couple other ones with Gloria.
Oh yeah,
where they're chatting.
Toxic love. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one.
They're probably the most toxic love people in the group. So I'm like, yeah, guys, your guy is gonna be the lead actress in here.
That was a good skit with him and Gloria. His probation officer was calling him or something. That was pretty funny. But yeah, no, it was great. I mean, you know, I guess your main actress here, Julicia, you said?
Yep, Julicia.
She's playing the role that, you know, we're talking about here, which is it's a Caymanian Creative.
Yep. So she was basically like a college student that just returned home after graduating, trying to look for work or just move back home, not necessarily trying to look for work right away, but just speechless at what happened to Cayman. Like, you know, where did the home that I leave 3 years ago or 4 years ago, depending on if she did a bachelor's or associate's degree. I don't know what I cracked her as, but she's just notices all the changes that happened, and as she's going around to different places that she used to grow up going, like Cayman Bay and all those places that I listed, farmers market and stuff like that. She notices that Cayman isn't the same like how she wanted it to be. And she's now confused whether she should stay or go, which is A lot of the young people here.
That's the same path that everybody has to sort of decide on,
Yep.
right? And I think you're still kind of open on that decision too, right?
It used to be, but now since I've been like more locked in with film, I realized my purpose here. So I can't. I'm not gonna say I stay here till I die, but I'm here for a little bit.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Nothing wrong. I mean, because there is a lot that you can do here. You know, you can continue to grow your craft before you go away. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot to learn. I think we underestimate what you can do in Cayman. You know.
True.
And like I was telling you, I think creatives face this problem. You know, all over the place, not just Cayman. You know. So tell me, in the scene here at Rum Point, what the name of this restaurant is again? Kaibo? Not Kaibo. Rum
Sun
Point.
Coast or something like that.
Yeah, the bar at Rum Point. But did you get permission from them to shoot this, or did you did?
So as we were sitting down, I asked the waiter, and then he asked the manager. He said, "Yeah, sure." We just
so
have
you
to order
showed up
something.
there on the day with all the actors and then asked for permission.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually do that. I don't really like ask for permission the day before. But if I go there, I'm not gonna film if they tell me no. But I'll go there and film.
Right.
You know? I take because I lived in Atlanta for a year, and like you can go anywhere and film over there. So I feel like
without
it was
much problem.
problem.
Did you see a lot of production happening when you were there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on the set of Tell Me Lies, on the set of English Teacher. That's on Hulu. Season 2, episode 1. You'll see me on there.
What you were doing there?
I was in the background, bro.
Yeah?
I'm just
Background actor?
Excited
Cool,
to be there.
cool.
But there was basically I was a waiter in the Tell Me Lies season 1 movie, and then the English teacher I was a background in. Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually booked for a background for the Tell Me Lies film. But the director saw me and she booked me up to like a actual like not speaking role, but like something to do. Okay. So I was like a bar back.
Okay.
So it was cool.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
So how did you get to Atlanta, and what did you go purposely to like see the production scene, or did you just
started off as work, but then I had a 3-month like, I wouldn't say like, it wasn't layoff because the type of work I was doing sales. I was selling security systems, and it was basically for 6 months out of the year. So I had the other 6 months to do whatever I want, basically. So it was like a seasonal job. But then those 6 months, I'm like, yo, I'm going to be an actor. That was my dream. Or just something to do with the creativity that I had inside of my mind.
Right.
And I just signed up. I just did some research and I got an agent at Central Casting. And from there, I just started networking, taking acting classes. And yeah, in Atlanta, the career growth over there is crazy. Like you can literally start here and reach over here in like a month, 2 months. If you take the aggressive approach. So
it might be better to be in Atlanta than Cayman, then is what you're saying.
For acting. I mean, filmmaking, you can be the best anywhere. You know, Frankie Flowers is a testament of that.
True that.
But in order to like scale and like networking, there has to be like a limit before you actually like step out, which is what I met with Brittany Keller the other week. And she told me like, you know, at some point, scale. You have to think about scaling.
Right.
But I don't know. I believe in myself, bro. And the first day I get monetized in YouTube, that's going to make it all worth it. And we're almost there too, so make sure you guys like and subscribe to the film.
So what you got coming up next, then let's let everybody know. What's the next project coming out on the YouTube channel?
Right now we're working on Snake Part 4. A lot of people know me for that one. Well, they know Michael for that one because he's the lead actor of that one.
Snake?
It's like a little dramatic series. So basically he took my wife from me, and I took her back after, and yeah, it's just a whole lot. It's like violence. No, it's not violence. It's action, comedy, and drama.
Wow, I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, that's another one.
I gonna watch these, man. Look good still.
Yeah.
So
but
how
we're
many?
making a part 4 to that. That's going to be around probably 15 minutes.
Oh, so you've done 2 and 3 already? I see 2 here, but I don't see 3.
We did 3, probably in October or end of August. Yeah, Eli the actor, look at him.
But like I was saying, I think you are a good actor.
No, like in terms of like, I understand like a script, and I know how the director would want like not want it to look, but I know what the creative vision behind it. Because acting is simply the display of emotion. You have to allow yourself to feel, and most directors aren't really keen on you missing a line. They're more of like, how do they feel watching it? And I feel like that's a big thing with me too. So that's what made Jaleesa's role so great in the film that we just released, because in every scene, she didn't really care about the lines. She cared about how she was feeling behind the camera before because when I would say action, she wouldn't speak right away, which is great.
She would tap in.
She would like, get into character so quickly too. And it's like, it was amazing. So
See, that is exactly why I'm not good at acting. Because I'm not good with my feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. In other words, like, it's hard for me to access my feelings. Yeah. I'm definitely just more on the brain. I mean, it's a weakness I have, and I've been trying. People who watch the podcast know I talk about it, but I've been trying to activate my feelings a bit more.
Okay.
But I think that's my problem, right? When it comes to acting, is that I can't tap into that.
I had that problem for the first 6 months of going to acting classes. It's not until one day where my acting coach, he gave me a screw, and he's like, Eli, I've been trying the last 6 months of you. I don't know what type of mental block you have towards me. And I'm like, no, it's not that. I just don't know how to feel sad.
Is that
Because
right?
there'll be a scene. Because I remember one class that we took. He tried to get me to kiss the other girl. I'm just like, I didn't know like acting entails that, you know, like it's random girl. I was just like, okay. And she was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm just like, what do I do now? So yeah, that was pretty great. But the sensory memory thing that he had us do, we were basically associating our emotion to an object. So he would give us these like little nail screws, and we would rub on it while listening to, like, he said, to tell him a song that makes me sad. So it's very hard because I just told him like a random song, like the John Legend, All of Me. So I'm rubbing on the screw while listening to that. He said to close my eyes. So like for 10 minutes, he literally made me to close my eyes for 10 minutes, rub the screw while listening to music and thinking about sad thoughts.
Interesting.
For 10 minutes.
Interesting.
And he said, you have to keep going until you feel sad.
Okay.
And it was like half an hour that went by, and I was just like, let me actually try this thing instead of just wasting my acting like class.
Yeah.
And and as soon as he took away the screw out of my hand, I didn't feel sadness. And then we did the line with the girl. You know, it went great. And then he said that my emotions felt a little shallow. So he gave me the screw to rub on it while I was doing the scene with the girl. And he was like, there you go.
Interesting.
Because it triggered like the sensory memory.
So you performed better at that point?
Yep.
When you had the screw?
And I felt sadness after I kissed her. So little stuff like that is like what really helps. Like, you have to know your acting style. My acting style is sensory memory. But other people might be a method actor, like Jalecia, because she's never done acting before, and she's able to feel those stuff. So she used memories, you know, method.
And like Gloria too, I guess, right?
Gloria's a good method actor. Mike too. At first, he was a sensory actor. Because when I would give him a role, he said I'll spend the whole first 2 days before we film, and I'll pretend to be that guy. So I could tell he was more of a sensory memory actor, because he has to put himself in the position of an actor before he gets to it. So that's why like method actors are way more easier to work with. They get way more work because they don't take that much. Like, you can give them the script today and tomorrow, tell them tomorrow we're filming, and they'll get it down and they'll understand it. But some people are sensory actors like me, which need the script like 3 days before or a week to actually like go to, like, let's say I'm playing a fast food worker, I'll go to Wendy's or Burger King and get a burger just to see like how a fast food worker is, you know, or ask them if I could work for an hour there for free or something, you know, to actually put myself in the perspective of that character. Because you don't have to have difficult shots for a scene to come out great. Like, if you look at all of my films, it's just wides, behind the shoulders, and mids. It isn't like any crazy pans. Well, some of them in Snake, you'll see a lot of my creativity getting there, but majority of it is just the actors I depend on for like that emotion to keep people interested. But where did it go? I probably spent like 9 hours creating shot lists because I wanted to get everything, especially the picture that I had in my head when I started writing. I had to slow down a little bit because the shot lists were like piling up way more. Like, I'll have 1 line, 7 shots for 1 line. No, we can't do that. And I already have 11 pages for a script. I'm not going to sleep tonight. So I'm just like, all right, slow down, Eli. Basic establishings, wides, mediums, behind the shoulders, transitions. How are we going to transition from scene 1 to scene 2? Let's do that. Let's keep it simple. Because otherwise, I don't know, 7 shots for 1 line. Yeah. And it was 1 word.
I mean, you can do unlimited shots for a scene, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But what I noticed with, you know, a lot of great actors is that they'll do it a lot of great directors, they'll film it in 1 shot. They can film a scene in 1 shot. True. You know, and I'll pause it and I'll watch and I'll be like, you know what? If I had this script and I was getting ready to direct this scene, I would have had wides, mediums, close up, all kind of different shots to do the scene. Yeah. And I'm like, well, look at this director. He just used 1 shot to get the scene. And I'm just like, you know, it's like, am I overcomplicating things? You know, like, what the heck is going on? So, and it's interesting because you said that even though you had a big shot list when you were on set, you basically threw the shot list away.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it just comes to me. I'm just like, all right, from the establishing shot, I know where to go next.
Right.
That's the hardest thing for me. I don't know where to put the establishing shot, which is easy. You know, sometimes you just have to go wide, you know, slap on a 50 or a 70.
I agree. I think it is the hardest shot.
It is the hardest because where do you want to establish? Because let's say we're filming outside a parking lot. Yeah, you can just use the building as the establishing shot, but you have to introduce the character into it after. So I think that's the hardest part about it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's my favorite type of shot whenever I'm watching anything is the establishing shot, the wide shot. And especially when it comes in the scene, I love scenes where you don't see the establishing shot, maybe almost to the end. Sometimes it's the very last shot of the scene.
So they're like guessing if it's there or not.
I mean, you can still maybe even guess where you are, but
Sick.
you know, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you know, generally speaking, sometimes I really like when they hold back the establishing shot. You know,
I remember when we were talking about the scene at one point. You thought the boat was on land until I went to that wide.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Let's
Look at it. Oh wait, this is Snake. Definitely want to watch that, but hold on. Let's bounce back on. All right, here it is. So let's go to the beginning. You see?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're establishing you're at round point. That's fair. So this was a regular Sunday out there, I guess.
Regular Sunday.
All right, but then here...
The way how I color graded it, it made it look like it was a Bodden, which is how I wanted it to look.
Interesting.
You get me?
Yeah,
Because I could have just color graded it like a regular color grade to make it like more cinematic. But I'm just like, I want everybody to get nostalgic when they look at this, you know?
But there we are. We're looking up at the sky. So like they're both in the boat, and where are you? Are you in the water at this point?
I'm in the water.
Yeah.
My mic band is literally behind me. The boats over around point are playing at 100 decibels. So it's like a lot of... I'm surprised the audio came out great for this because we're literally right beside that boat that always plays loud music every Sunday. I don't know what they boat called, but everybody know them. They with blue lights, is a 28 feet, 2 inches, I don't know. But I just parked my boat a little bit away from them. And then the audio came out great.
This your boat, or?
Yeah, that's my boat.
Oh, okay. And then here you are, and I seen water yet. So I'm like, is he just going like this with the camera? Or they like, because the natural thing would be for you to show the water, which you do eventually. But again, for me, that's something that I like. I like to figure it out after. I like, because now now you're not showing the water yet. So you're in the boat here though.
No, I was in the water there. I was in the water for that whole shot. Because I don't know why, but my lens I got changed from 24 to 70. It didn't look great, so I didn't use it. So I used a 40 millimeter for this whole scene.
What, the 40 millimeter?
Yeah, for this whole scene.
And what camera you use again?
Sony FX30.
FX30?
Yeah. So
and then
it's a cinema line Sony camera, and they make any lens look good. But the one that I had, I didn't like that.
So it's a 40 millimeter prime?
It's a 40 millimeter prime anamorphic.
Ah, okay.
I only shoot on anamorphic lenses because I want to look different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. So, and that's why. And what other lenses do you have?
In terms of like filming, prime 24 to Sony FE 24 to 70 millimeter. I think it's a 1 point. It's a 3.5. I think, or 1.8. No, it's not a 1.8. It's a 3.5. But that's the one that came with the camera when I got it. I was like, I'm not gonna film on that. All my films I shoot on anamorphic lenses.
So you have the 40 millimeter, and what else?
24 to 70.
That's anamorphic too?
Yep, and I have a 35 millimeter regular lens.
A 25 millimeter?
35.
35?
Yeah.
And
I wanted to get a 50, but I don't really like 50 millimeters, which is crazy.
Really? Interesting.
I don't like 50s.
Why not?
I just feel like they're not. I don't know. Whenever I look at it, it doesn't make me filmy. It doesn't give me that film vibe. I don't know why. Or I just been using this for the past 7 films, so I guess you can say I grew attachment for it.
So I love this transition here. How you start from the
yeah. I was sitting in the restaurant. I'm just like, how am I gonna transition? I'm just like, all right, I see the bush. Let me use it. Yeah,
it's great. I mean, I think a lot of amateur filmmakers don't do that with their scenes. I'm a huge Sopranos fan. I think I mentioned that. But they'll every scene starts with the camera swinging in to where the people are, and then boom, then you're in your mediums and your closest, and then they might swing back out. Like every scene, and it's like a simple little technique that for some reason a lot of amateur filmmakers, even myself in a lot of cases, don't use. But I liked and appreciated that you used it there. I thought it was a nice touch.
Appreciate it.
I think you had done it a couple other times as well. Oh, hold on. Let's go to the scene where wait. Okay, she takes the hat off there. She takes the hat off there. Okay, that's fine. Now, where the scene is where the hat's missing. This one.
There you go. Love that scene. People were, I was talking
So
to,
there's the hat, and then she walks
There
up.
you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So the
fuck
scene,
with the audience a little bit.
she has the hat on. She's walking in the very next cut. She doesn't
So
have
I
that on.
asked her about that line because I didn't even realize that until you brought it up at the coffee shop.
Really?
Yeah. And I
So
asked
you
her
didn't
about-
realize this?
I didn't realize it.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I went back and watched it, I was like, yeah, there's a continuity error. But what happened in that shot, it was only me that day, like recording it and being the mic man. So what I had to do was put my camera on the tripod, move it with the mic, stop it there. That's why like when it went from that shot to like a static, people are like, wow, it's very stable. I'm just like, yeah, I wasn't holding the camera. If I was holding the camera, you would know it wasn't stable. I don't know why whenever I hold my stabilizer, a stabilizer is supposed to stabilize shots. You can give me a shoulder rig, I'm still going to make that shaky. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it's very hard to like stabilize completely. You know, I mean, even with a stabilizer, the camera's still moving. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you didn't realize that? I thought. So
what happened was, when we went from that shot when they were walking up, and I was like, okay, I said cut, and then I was like, I'm gonna set up a tripod here so I could hold the mic close to you guys. She's like, okay, can you hold my hat? I'm like, sure. So I was like, oh shoot, it was supposed to be in the scene, but we already did the scene, so we have to shoot another one.
So this is the one where the camera's on the tripod and you're holding up the mic.
Yeah.
You see, but then when you were editing, you didn't realize either?
I didn't realize.
Interesting. I thought that you purposely did. I thought you just said, screw it. I'm gonna include the cut with her walking with the hat, and the next shot she doesn't have the hat. And I appreciated that because like I was telling you, I think people get too hung up on continuity stuff.
They get too hung up.
And
they don't release the projects. And
for instance, you know,
they
like, oh no, she don't have a hat on. She had a hat on in the shot. Who cares? Like move on with the story.
And you'll see it sometimes too. Like in this scene, I think I broke the 180-degree rule. I don't think so. Well, in one shot, but not in like the dialogue. But in the last shot, I broke the 180. I didn't really care. Right. Sometimes you're allowed to break it if it connects the story.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. Rules are there to be broken. Like as long as you as long as it works, it works. So here now, this was at the
farmer's market. So
at the farmer's market.
That was actually a very chill day. Like I told him, like, whatever day we film this, guys, I'm down for any other day during the week. Sunday is the best day to go to the farmer's market because if I go out during the week, a lot of people in there know me and they're gonna be like, "Oh, can I get in the film?" And we're gonna spend 1 hour talking to people and like the next hour filming. I'm trying to get in and out.
Right.
So we shot that scene in like 15 minutes.
So this was Sunday or what?
This was Sunday. Yeah. And that guy, I purposely put that Dell's Fresh Produce. Big up Dell. Thank you so much for allowing us to use your booth.
Nice.
He was just watching us recording from his booth, and I was like, "Who's this weird guy behind us?" He was like, "Oh, I'm the owner of the booth." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I introduced myself. I'm Eli. Big up yourself, Mr. Dell." I got his Instagram, and yeah, he said, "Yeah, you guys can use my booth."
That's cool that he was so chill about it. You know, he was like watching you guys film in front of his booth.
No, because we just see this random guy behind us as we're filming.
Like, can we help you, sir?
Yeah. I realized I'm at your booth. My bad. But and that's his first Patrick too, the male leading artist with her. Right. His name is Tariq in the film. He doesn't have acting experience as well, but he does know how to like let emotions go.
He was good.
He understands it. I wouldn't say he's the best, but he does understand it.
He was good. Patrick, what's his last name?
Connolly.
Connolly?
Connolly, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, man. No, I liked them all, man. And so you say this was a Sunday?
Definitely. You have to film the biggest scenes on a Sunday. Yeah, so I'll do 2-3 scenes on a Sunday.
And the good thing about it too is at least you had some shade in there, you know.
Oh yeah.
And there's George.
Yeah.
And Gloria. Don't mess with Gloria doing her thing, yo.
It's not like you wanted a child. Yeah, that like killed me. You know. So what had happened was when they were going back and forth, they were kind of dry. So I was like, yo, I know a lot of Caymanian couples, they be flirting and shit. So I was like, yo, just tell her like you look like you be cooking like you want a child.
Right.
And then when he said that, I didn't tell Gloria what to say. So she just right off of what he said. I didn't tell Gloria like I whispered in Georgia. I was like, just tell her like, yo, you want a child. So that caught her by surprise. Right. So she's like, you know that.
Gloria bad though. Okay,
Gloria
I like it. She can like she's spontaneous.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then the final scene, oh my gosh. That's the big fun fact. The beginning and the final scene I shot in the same day.
Cool.
So that was the first scene that's the first scene that I edited for this film. The ending scene.
The ending scene.
That's what motivated me to keep going for the film, because this is such a great ending scene in my opinion. I loved it, and the emotion was there, especially when she looked at Tariq when he was confessing his love for her. She killed it. Big up yourself, Jalecia.
Awesome. So you filmed you edited the last film,
that was the first thing I edited.
movie.
That was the last thing I edited.
Before anything
Which is
else.
crazy, because usually people edit in chronological order. And then at the end, I just talked about it. The same day I posted it, I was in Miami. And just going through that crash 51 times. I was pretty stressed. So you can see it in the last part when I was walking outside. my uncle's daughter was walking out there. She was like, "Why are you talking to a camera?" Because they don't know I make videos.
They don't?
Yeah. I mean, my uncle knows, but his daughter doesn't know because she just came to visit. She just saw me talking to a camera. She didn't really see a camera. She just saw me talking like this. So she was like, "Who's he talking to?" But I was just like, yeah, this is a film. And when she saw the film, she was like, "Oh, no way. I love it."
Oh, so you showed it to her?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so did you get permission from the airport to shoot there?
Yeah.
You did?
I didn't get permission from them, but I asked them when I was filming. I mean, public areas, I don't think you need permission, right? In Cayman is a free world.
Yeah.
But I always ask, like, the guy.
That's the cool thing about Cayman.
I ain't gonna lie though, the guy wasn't very nice at first. He was trying to, but I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get the scene shot.
Oh, so when she came in, it was during the evening too. For some reason, I thought
flight just landed when we pulled up. So I was like, perfect, let's wait until people come outside. But he didn't want that. He wanted us to get it shot and go down to the departure section instead of the arrivals. But I'm just like, she just came in from the flight. That's what I want for the film.
Right.
We're just gonna make it quick.
Right.
And then the actors, they didn't understand the emotion. The guy didn't understand the emotion that well. The girl did well. You know, she's a natural. She can like take one line and just create the dialogue like right away. But it was very authentic because none of that was staged. All these people pulling up, I don't know who they were.
Right.
I think the agency or somebody from the agency came on or something. They were watching us film. If you go back a little bit,
Which agency?
I don't remember.
Like are they called the agency?
It was this couple right here.
Yeah.
They own some media company here, and they was like, "Oh, what are you guys filming?" And I was just telling them what we were filming and stuff.
Okay.
And I got a contact. They probably watched it already, but
yeah, I've heard of them. The agency that rings a bell. Nice.
But yeah, everybody was watching us that day we were filming outside the house. We're like, what are these young Caymanians doing with a big mic boomstick and a guy with a headphones on and a gimbal with a camera? They're like, oh, they're filming something.
So you were using a gimbal too?
Yeah, I have to. Cause
that's what you call your stabilizer? Your gimbal?
Gimbal.
Okay.
Like the little like the little DJI one. It has like the three. The only reason why I bought it because I saw the 360 roll thing. I was like, I have to try that out, and I've never tried it out, so I just bought it for fun. But it does help. I'd be pushing it to limits though, because my lenses are heavy. So like I need to probably get the extended plate, so it can be like more ready. But I'd be pushing it to the limit. So whenever it's stable, it's not like that all the way. It's more like this. But when I film, I have to be like this to make it straight. Well, I'm not gonna buy another one. Those are expensive, like $400. $500 actually. $500.
Yeah. In post, you could like even it out too.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What I've learned though is when I take off the receiver, it kind of gives me more weight to play with because the receiver is out a little bit of weight. Because like when you balance those things, one little slight addition of weight, it fall over or fall back. It's like stepping on the scale at a doctor's office.
True.
Like
it is the same kind of vibe.
It's the same type of vibe because you have to go inch by inch to get the right one.
Millimeter by millimeter, and every millimeter counts.
And after my mic dropped in the ocean at Rumpo, it was great because they dropped after we filmed the boat scene, but we had 2 other scenes to shoot, which is the scene on the land and then the scene at the restaurant. So I just took off my B-cam mic, Rode mic, my vlogging mic, and I just flipped it in. I just plugged it in the cinema mic, and it came out great.
Doing what you gotta do.
I gotta do what I gotta do to get this film, bro. I brought all you guys out on a Sunday, and I know everybody's tired, so let's get it done.
Yeah, man. I love that. Yeah. So you're telling me then that you're sort of the kind of director where you don't mind if they read lines differently or change up the lines as long as they
include the most important lines. Let's say, for example, you're planning to break up with a girl and you're just talking to her, you're not breaking up. Like sprinkling in somewhere,
Yeah.
So the same thing happened with the scene in the car. Like when the first after, they were just going random lines, and I was just like, bring up the fact that Cayman has changed. Just throw Cayman up in there somewhere. I'm not going to tell them nowhere, but throw Cayman up in somewhere.
Right.
And then just know how to exit the scene. You can talk. I know Cayman is long-winded, but just talk. But have the sprinkler Cayman up in there and know how to end the scene. the exit.
Right.
Because there's also there's these two things called the moment before and the moment after a scene. And for me, the most important thing is the moment before. The moment after is you can literally like slap him in the face and then transition to the next scene.
Right.
But the moment before, like you actually start talking, people have to feel what you're thinking about before you start talking.
So talk to me a little bit about that. The moment before and the moment after. That's something I think about a lot when I'm writing a scene. You know, because you don't want to come in like with the standard hello. You kind of want to come in the middle of the conversation, kind of, right?
True.
So how do you deal with that?
You know, I've failed so much about like when I'm acting about the moment before. So that's the one thing I studied with my acting coach. He was like, that's the one thing I struggle with. So I made it my like goal to like really nail the moment before. So basically the moment before, like when you're writing, is what's happening outside of, I wouldn't say the script, but the story. Let's say, for example, right, the scene, let's go to the scene at the house. I'll show you like
What happened? Which house with Gloria and George, or this one?
This one right here. So keep going a little bit.
To the beginning, or?
At the beginning, yeah, when they pull up and stuff. Go a little bit more. This is a prime example. I could show you exactly what the moment before is. And that will literally keep the audience engaged a lot. That's one thing that...
Oh, there, I like the shot that you got too. That was cool.
That was big up Joel Lawson. If you're watching this, he's the one that did that shot for me.
Oh, he was there with you on set
He was co-directing me for that scene. Yeah.
So how did he get this shot? What was he doing?
He was like, yo, Eli, use that bush right here. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I was like,
boom.
So you see, again, that creative environment.
Yeah, man.
So, moment before, okay. I'll tell you exactly when to pause it. Okay, because all this was scripted, you know?
All right, so they're about to walk in the house.
She right about to knock, boom, moment before. Okay, pause it right there. So the moment before, let's say, for example, I'm walking up to a house, right? You know, one of my friend's house. The moment before a scene, which I didn't plan for this dialogue was not in the script with them talking.
Okay.
But I'm just like, if somebody's walking up to a stranger's house, there has to be something going on in the house before they come. Then it's like, oh, somebody's at the door. I was like, yo, just flirt with her. Just flirt with her. Moment before, set the scene so everything connects. I don't know how, I just have like this. Moment before is basically like setting up the scene before, like setting, like what's going on before something happens. All right, let's say, for example, I'm shooting a scene where a girl is walking home from the school bus. The moment before could be the teacher in the class saying, okay, guys, class dismissed. And then her like walking out of class, that would be the moment before. And then from her, like what I would film is from her walking on the school bus. So probably a static shot with her walking out the school bus doors open. She walks, so I got a side profile shot there. She walks in, a POV, strap the camera to her as she's walking up the stairs. And then like a camera inside of the bus, catching that medium shot of her walking in. So that would be like the moment before. But in terms of lines, you have to incorporate that too, which I don't do. I just do it when I'm on set.
Interesting.
Because forget them to do that is going to be a little bit... I don't like stressing on my actors because it's very difficult to do this. Acting is a hard job. So what I will do is I'll look at my lines and be like, what's happening before this? Okay, she's walking up to his house. So they have to be talking about something.
So you'll just give them something on the spot?
Yeah, I'll just tell them, okay, so like how they're walking up to the door right now? Just talk about something that couples will talk about. So she was like, yeah, I have a surprise for us tonight. And you already know what Jaren's thinking about. So it's great because, Caymanians can relate to that. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, what is that? And then as soon as I told him to time it for him to say, what is that?
Right, and then they
time it. Because that's the moment before.
I love it.
That's the moment before a scene.
I love it. There's so much that gets added because there's a certain emotion that the actors will have on that before bit that they carry with them once you start running, once you press record. And it just adds a little more depth.
Yep.
And it gets the characters in motion before the scene actually comes in, because sometimes you'll find that once you say go, it takes them a while. They start acting. Yep. And you can see them start acting on film. You're like, no. I can see you start acting. I don't want that.
Real.
You're already acting,
That's so real.
And that helps. I love that. Yep.
And even when they got in the house, that was a moment before shot too. That wasn't planned. I was just planning to go straight to the barbecue as soon as they got inside the house. And it just, but I was just like, she hasn't seen her friends, so they probably might want to talk a little bit before they just cut to the food. And Jaleesa she's a very energetic person in person, like off camera. So I was just like, yo, run up to her, give her a hug, catch up. oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in months, and it's just someone just bring up the fact about food, so you can just transition to the next scene. So I think it was Jada. Oh, sorry, it was Renee in the movie. She was basically saying, okay, anybody, like, you guys hungry? So that's where I connected it to the fact that she just got off the flight. So she was like, yeah, I'm a little bit jet lagged. Yeah, and I just connected straight to the barbecue. And so that was like how I connected it.
So she's
and
energetic.
we had a whole house, so I wasn't going to just shoot a store scene and then just go straight to the outdoor.
True.
Like, utilize the atmosphere a little bit more if it doesn't take that much time.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's very interesting, how the differences in creatives and difference in directors, where, some directors read every single word in the script.
I ain't gonna lie.
Don't change nothing. And they get very upset if you change anything.
Real.
But then I'm not even saying one is right. I'm not saying one is wrong. I'm just talking about
it's true,
the differences.
but sometimes, though, I don't blame him because the script is well written. But sometimes the moment before, like that, for the actors, it might require a change.
Sure.
For example, like if you have a scene where they're going to their parents to tell them, like, they just quit their job. Some people might be happy to go out there, like when she's outside at the doorstep, to go tell them, but some actors might be sad. It's like, my parents are going to judge me. Some actors might be like, I don't care about them. Yeah, just I tell them and live life, Yeah. So the lines aren't going to coexist.
Right.
So you have to like give it to the actor and just tell them how to evaluate. Because I'm a very neutral personality person, so I feel like my lines are very standard for anyone. So I feel like they can use it and bounce off different ideas.
Right.
The scene, like for example, the scene when Gloria and George and Jaleesa were inside of the house and she was basically telling them like her whole life story and stuff. That was a very neutral scene. So any one of them could have replicated that without my lines. So that's exactly what they did.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
The only part that they followed the script on was the last part about moving back to Florida and stuff like that.
Now that you say that, I could tell that it seemed very casual.
Yep.
The way that they were, talking in this scene here, right? Yeah, you could. Now that you say that, it's pretty. It was pretty evident that they were kind of.
All I do is I explain the idea and the emotion involved in the scene, and they just do it. There's a guideline to the script that we did have, and they did stick to the majority of them. But like Jaleesa, she definitely used my lines and made them way better.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
And so crazy that scene. I think Jaleesa and Gloria was gonna get in a fight because like when they were in real life, because she was just like, well, really, that's how you guys feel? And I was like, cut. You guys good?
What was she saying though?
They were just in the scene.
Why?
No, but like, because Gloria's her mother and Jaleesa was like talking to her in a disrespectful way. But that's what I wanted the character to be.
Right,
but I thought I didn't know if they were getting like in person real. So I was like, wait, cut. You guys okay? I thought you guys would go fight, but that's why I said everybody just started laughing. But they were just, we just in the scene. I was like, okay, good. I was just making sure we just started out here.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because the times that I've met Gloria, she's kind of a neutral thing. But then when I see these little ranges of emotion in her on camera, I'm like, yo.
She can do it.
I wouldn't expect it, I'm caught a little off guard. And even Jaleesa, I was wondering what she would be like in person. Because sometimes you don't know. When you see an actor,
you don't know.
Sometimes they're super shy. And then you expect them to like be like how you saw them when they were acting, like, and then you meet them in real life and they're like super shy and they can't even look at you. And you're like, wow, that, you're a very introverted person, right? Sure. It's funny how we give these actors and characters this personality and we expect them to be a certain way. And, we filmed, Nicolas Cage was here and he filmed the films. It was the same thing with him because we've seen him in so many movies that, and a lot of those movies, he's very outgoing and extroverted and you expect that he's going to be that way, but then he's not. And he's completely like withdrawn.
Like they play the character so well, you would think that that's how they are in real life.
Right. And it's crazy how we as people, we that character becomes real for us, and we expect them to kind of be like that, but they're not. So I was wondering, like Gloria, I know her, but I was wondering with Jaleesa and some of the other actors. What about Mike? What's he like in real life?
Oh, Joker. Real okay, he's actually doing a show next week, Wednesday at 1981 Brewing.
What's that?
It's like a comedy. It's like a comedy night. It's an open comedy night.
I think I've seen the poster for that.
Yeah, my buddy Matt Poskett, he hosts it. He's like a comedian, British comedian from the UK. Very, very nice jokes. But sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, Matt, you need to stop repeating your jokes.
Oh,
He knows this. I always tell him this. I was like, yo, Matt, are you repeating the same joke?
ooh.
But
He said you need fresh material, bro.
He loves it,
dang,
though.
Dang.
But in terms of like in like the event and what he's building in the comedy space is definitely exciting. I think one event just happened this Sunday. I couldn't make it because I was overseas, but it was a collaborations with the Toastmasters Club and him, which I helped them collaborate. And it was basically like a comedy night thing. And I heard it came out great. There was a lot of fresh talent there that pulled up. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. We need things like that. So when is this one?
This one is this coming Wednesday, which is I think the 15th. No, I'm not sure. I'm not good. I don't even look at dates anymore. But it's the 19th. 19th. Yeah.
Where is 1981 again?
1981 brewing company is basically like that beer shop right there on the Industrial Park across from the Esso.
Oh wait,
across from Car City.
In Industrial Park.
Industrial Park.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't even know that they had like comedy nights there or like they host an event because I just saw like a big brewery beer thing outside of their thing. It's like silver and it says 1981 brewing and then it has like the colorful palm paintings. I think that's like a big thing that I've been seeing a lot in Cayman. Like I think the same artist just goes around and does a lot of companies like the painting thing. Yeah, I don't know what. But in terms of decorations, that's what it was. Yeah.
Interesting.
But the biggest thing about acting and directing that what we do is it feels great to be able to be somebody else, not just for the film, but it's like for the whole period from the start to project, because you get to engulf yourself in that life and then you just flash back to reality once it's done. So that's probably my favorite thing about acting. Other than that, I just love being behind the camera. Yeah.
So you still, it sounds like you still have a little bit of a love for acting.
Oh yeah, that's why. Anytime I see a lot of my actors struggling, I'll give them like an acting class. Like even right before we shoot, I did it with Jalecia, like the sensory memory thing.
Oh yeah,
because she didn't know what type of acting style she had, and I'm just like, everybody's a method actor. Everybody wants to be a method actor, but most people are sensory actors. They don't know how to like get that emotion out.
I guess I'm a sensory.
You're a sensory actor.
Yeah.
I'll have to give you a class. So.
Yes, please, please.
just to kind of like allow yourself to portray it for the character, or just know how to like trigger those emotions quickly, because you don't have to access them quickly. You just have to know how to access them. I think that's the biggest thing about being an actor.
Right.
Dwayne Johnson, he's a very famous sensory memory actor.
Right?
Yep, he's a very famous sensory actor. But now he's, with all the different like roles that he's been playing, he's developed the method acting style. And then there's secondary acting, which is basically seeing somebody do it and replicating it. So that's what I've become, like after I learned how to do sensory memory, because I would look at Dwayne Johnson's scene or what's the other guy's name, Steven Spielberg, or anybody like that writes lines. Or is a great actor. I just replicated him. Mr. Washington. Who else? There's a lot of other actors I replicate, but I've replicated Dwayne Johnson's scenes a lot. And I see the emotions. Like everybody's like, wow, he just jumped out the plane, or he just looked at her like that. I'm just like, I know exactly what he's thinking. So I don't look at visuals anymore. I look secondary. I don't look at the primary, like what's going on up at the top of the surface. I look at like what's going on below. So that's what secondary acting is.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I could look at someone and I could be like, I know exactly what they're thinking in that scene, because it's a matter of not just looking at them, but what do I feel from seeing it? And I've developed sensory acting and secondary acting as my main source.
So that's very interesting then. So what you're saying is that if there's an actor in a scene and like the primary expression is, say, them feeling happy, there's a secondary paradigm with which they're
feeling below the crest.
They're feeling below.
Yeah, because I'll give you a quick example. The scene in Fast and Furious, when that scene when he walked back into the office.
I haven't watched Fast and Furious.
7?
I haven't watched any. Maybe, no.
That was the most famous movie.
Wasn't my thing. I know.
You watched The Do-Over?
No.
Adam Sandler. You watched Grown Ups?
Which one? Who's in that one again?
Adam Sandler.
And who?
A bunch of other people. I'm very bad at it.
Is Jennifer Aniston in that one? Probably, maybe. I've seen a few of his.
You watched We're the Millers? That's the one with Jennifer Aniston.
I think I have seen that one, yes.
One where they go across the country smuggling drugs in the RV.
No, didn't see that one. Yes,
But you can
I
look
suck.
at let's say like any sex scenes. I know exactly what's going on in their mind. It's about not just people think like, oh yeah, it's about pleasure,
Right.
But it's about the next scene. Actually, it's not about the sex scene because what happens after the sex scene is usually on their minds while they're having sex.
Huh.
Yeah,
Is the next scene?
yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So usually when actors like act, they're thinking about the next scene when they're doing the scene because they want to connect it or they want to like know how to transition. It's called the character arc. So I'll give you a quick example. If we're doing a scene right now and your goal in this, my goal is in the scene that is, let's say you're my boss and I'm your employee. If my goal in the scene is to like say I want to quit, at first, I won't start like approaching you like out that emotion, like, I'm done. I'll start with like saying like, how appreciative I am with this job, stuff like that. Like, you taught me a lot, and then slowly start to like gear towards like, leaving. So like, I would ask you like, how's the process of submitting what's a resignation like? So that's the arc, starting off like the end goal, but arc. So it's like how the character goes from the actual goal of the scene to the end goal of it. So all that I keep in mind.
Wow, that's a lot to keep in mind.
Yeah.
You see, I think that's one of my problems. Like, I find it, maybe I'm just simple, but different layers of like thinking one thing and saying another, which is a very effective tool as an actor.
It is.
I in real life, like I don't do that. I kind of just speak my mind and that's all I got. I don't got nothing else. I'm usually saying what I mean and meaning what I say.
True.
That just sounds very complicated to do.
It is, but why it's so easy for me is because remember I used to be an actor before I direct. So I think that switch was even better because now when I go to act, I know exactly how directors are. It'll be way more easier for directors to work with me now as an actor, to like book me for acting jobs because I know like from a directing side now and an acting side. So that's gonna be sick next time I'm on set. I actually got an audition for a role in Georgia, but like I don't live there anymore. Like I got so many auditions when I moved away.
Is that right?
Like actual speaking roles.
Well,
and
you
stuff.
couldn't even like do a little Zoom and see what happened with that, or?
Yeah, I could submit self-tapes, but I'll have to like fly to Atlanta, which I might probably do.
Might as well put it out there.
End of this year. But I'm working on I want to start working on a Christmas film. Me and Badir will be working on that soon.
Okay.
So
I told him I have to see the script first.
Yeah, he did.
That's my thing, because movies are so difficult.
They are.
The last thing you want to do is work on a movie you don't want to work on. Because that's. But
I read the Last Supper script this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty It's pretty different. Like I like the fact that you bring up the way that you had Judas in like the end of it. How he said that. I was just like, oh okay. That's you because you told me you were like, this isn't like how it is in the Bible. I was just like, oh, what is he going to put in this? It's going to piss a lot of Christians off. But
what did Judas say? By the way, I didn't write that script. Mike Powell did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but what did Judas say in that last? And Mike Powell is the big kahuna. Everyone knows the big kahuna.
I don't.
What did he say that would piss?
Yeah, he said, I don't know something. Let me see.
Yeah, because I think Mike wrote the Judas and Jesus. They say things that aren't actually in the Bible.
Of course.
All right. So is that what you're saying? That he said some sort of line that doesn't exist in the Bible? So that might.
No, you said. So it was right here. He said Judas must have been forgiven, even Leonardo. No, it would have not been better. Better to not have been born than to betray Jesus. That's what Leonardo. That's the line that I got caught off guard. I was like, okay, better to not been born than to betray Jesus.
But that's what Jesus said.
Yeah,
it would be better for him to have not been born.
Yeah, so that I like the fact that you put that from Leonardo's perspective.
You're right, right.
Because it would be amazing.
But that's the you're reading the bit, and that's the hard part about us or me. I want to shoot that film, but the problem with that is that there's so much thinking in it, and that line you were just reading was Leonardo thinking about Judas, and it's like that's like something that might have to get scrapped.
True.
In the actual script, right? It's just Leonardo there. You can't see what he's thinking, and that's the other thing about film. And people always say, "Oh, the book was better than the film." The book is better because usually the characters. There's so much when you're reading a book, the characters are thinking a lot, and so you know what they're thinking. But in a movie, no, you just see what's happening, like sort of in front of you.
We talked about it. It's called the film trance. Put them in a film trance. Yeah.
Right.
But for me, because I've directed so many films, I'm just like, I'm so detached from what's going on the surface. Like going back to my second draft, I'm just like, wow, they're feeling so many stuff right now. I love it, And it looks like what's on the top layer is so enticing, but I'm just like, I feel the emotion more than I love what I'm seeing.
Right.
So it's just like the perfect combo.
Huh.
Don't get me wrong, the visuals are way more important, but it's the emotion. Because that's what's, like when you hear a lot of these kids like obsessing over these Netflix shows, it's because they feel the emotion.
Right.
Because anybody can make a series that's like dramatic and very interesting, like Tyler Perry did, but it's the actors are what really bring it to life.
Right.
Like their emotions, and you would even think that some of these actors are together in real life, but they aren't.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they're married with kids. Born in somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, they really, as much as I don't want to say it, they are the most important part of the film. And they're the reason that people watch films, is not really because of how good it looks, but because of the actor, and that they're relating to that actor and they're tapping into that emotion.
And they want to be themselves too. So that's why I've been noticing a lot of people. Like when they see an actor that they like, they want to be that person. Not necessarily in like acting or everything, but they want to be that person in like real life.
Yeah. No, it's true. When you come out, like when I come out of a good movie, one that I really, really love, I have like an emotion, I have an energy, because the main hero was doing something that I found that I would like to imitate. I would like to have that courage, that bravery to do, what that character was doing. So yeah, I do relate to that. So tell me about this Christmas movie that we're going to shoot now.
Oh yeah. So
what's the synopsis?
I haven't even started thinking about it yet. I know it's kind of bad, but I know I want to start. I don't know what I want to involve in it, but I want it to be just like how Where Did We Go, in terms of like utilizing different locations. And I don't know what I want the final message to do, because me, I make films about social issues, so I want to have a message in every film, not just to like do it for entertainment, but I want to have a message. So my message in Where Did It Go was just the different changes and stuff that's been going on. So I want to have a message for the Christmas. So basically like how Christmas probably changed over the years for a lot of people in Cayman. So that might be a great message and goal. So that's once you have a goal, like get the whole film, you can literally shoot so many interesting films that have nothing to do with the line. It's called a cutaway scene to distract people from the story. But it's what I want to do.
So you need to figure out what the meat of this film is before.
Yep. What's the meat?
What's the cultural message?
Definitely want it to be at least 15-20 minutes though. Give people like a great thing.
I was telling him the other day, like that long movie, I don't know how you could do these 15, 20 you know what I mean?
I've been doing it like volume. I throw them out, and it takes a lot of editing and work, but I mean, fan base could definitely appreciate it. Because I know that there's like a loyal 200 people that will watch it every week. It's not a lot of people, but the more you appreciate what you have, the bigger it grows. Yeah, man. Especially in social media, because it's a numbers game. We're talking about this, like it takes years to actually build this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Beast is a big testament about that. I was watching a podcast where he said that he posted for 15 years before he even made $1.
Really?
15
that
years.
long?
It's like a life sentence in prison. Yeah. That's what he said it felt like. But I think the hardest part about being a creator is that part, tens of thousands of hours you spend. Because a lot of people ask me like how they can start getting into content. Me and Michael Barnes was actually talking about this the other day. He said his uncles bought a camera for his son. He wanted me to like teach him and stuff. I was like, yeah. And he was like, what type of content do I make? I'm just like, first of all, do you love it? Like, yeah, I love it. But do you really love it?
Do you love it enough to do 15 years without monetizing it?
Yeah. Do you really love it? Because in 10 years, 15 years, after tens of thousands of hours and probably 2,000 videos. I've made over 2,000, 1,000, 2,000 videos in the last 3 years, not even monetized yet. Tens of thousands of hours, 3,000, 4,000 videos that you made trying to become a content creator. If you were to fail, are you still going to be happy? Because if you love it, you still would be.
You still would be, yeah.
And I still would be, even if I'm not monetized in the next 10 years. So I feel like anybody that plays it for the long game are the ones that become successful.
Right. I mean, it's for the love of it, right? It's again, we were saying at the beginning of the conversation, as creatives, as artists, we have to produce. Like we wither and we die, right? So whether 200 people watch it or 2 million people watch it, like it kind of doesn't matter. And it's what's interesting is that, it's the sort of scenario where, like, for instance, maybe like say 10 years from now, you're huge, right? You might look back on these early days and be like, man, I miss those days. Yeah. Because that's when by the time you get millions of views, now you have an audience, and now you have expectations, and now you're doing something almost that other people want you to do. Whereas right now you're doing something that you want to do, right? So there's always that catch too between, being big and just doing it really for the love of it. You know what I mean? And you do see some like famous actors that they were huge, and then like where are they now? Where are they now? And like what happened?
Call them one-hit wonders.
Yeah, and a lot of times they say, I just didn't love it.
It changes. Like your life journey changes. That's why I've been learning a lot from my friends. They're like, yeah, in a few years, they always encourage me to be open-minded, because they're like, in a few years, life might change. I'm just like, bro, I'm 22 years old, at the height of my capabilities. I found out my purpose. I'm gonna die doing this. Like, there's no way I could be this consistent for years and just give up.
Right.
I already wasted, like, otherwise I just wasted those last 3 years of my life. Like, why would I give up? It's not, I haven't been getting paid, so I might as well keep not getting paid and do it,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. There you go. It's about the love,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you say you want to do this Christmas movie before, bro? It's November 13th.
Yeah, bro. By December 18th, that's out, published. Everybody waiting, filling up the theaters.
It takes me years to do a short film. This man, you're doing them in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't know how it's gonna be when we work together.
Give me 5 days. 5 days of filming, 10 days of editing. I'll get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be throwing them out. This one I'm working on right now is gonna be out 28th of November, and right about to work. And then the next one's gonna be out the 18th of December.
So you're releasing another one on the 28th.
This one, yeah. Snake Part 4. That's when it's going to be released.
Okay.
And then...
Have you filmed it already?
No.
You haven't filmed it yet?
First filming day is a Sunday, but I haven't filmed it yet. But I put filming dates of the dropping it before I even start filming. Because it's a deadline. Whether or not, we're going to die by that date, so we have to get it.
Yeah. That's a nice little tool that I've always used on my films as well, is that you always announce the premiere before you're done.
Yep.
Because then you have to get it done. Otherwise, you just keep pushing it back. You push it back.
I'm telling you, bro, because how much times I posted like the where did it go, and I was like, yeah, guys, it'll be dropping tonight. I even posted on my story, so it's 6:00, and I used the post around 7 p.m. People like, okay, it's 9 p.m. He probably just did it late. Okay, to 11 p.m. Nothing yet. I'm getting texts on my chat, my little phone. I had like probably like 30 notifications. And it's like 1 o'clock. They're like, okay, he's not posting today. 1:30 in the a.m. I was like, yeah, guys, it's out now. You think I'm gonna give up on you guys? No, I'm not gonna miss a post. Eli will never do that.
Yeah,
never ever.
That's great.
Unless my laptop blows up. No, I'll never miss a post, because that's where the goal is. That's where the vision is. And I met this guy named Vic Blends. I think a lot of people watching this knows who he is. He's a barber. He cuts people here in Atlanta. He has like 15, 20 million followers on TikTok and like 3. He has a lot of followers, but he's a white guy. He cuts people's hair and he talks about life. So he asks them like, what do you do? What do you do for a living? What's your name? And they just have this talk about life. And I actually met him and he told me like, literally, with anything in social media, after a year of posting consistently, that's when you can start telling yourself you're a content creator. You're not a content creator unless you've been that first year. It's just like working as a waiter. Oh, you worked as a waiter for 2 days. No, you're not a waiter yet.
True.
You got to do it for a year.
True.
Okay, then you can claim that title.
True.
And so he said, at least a year and 6 months before you can start seeing progress, you have to post consistently. That's what he told me. And he's like big brown, 20 million followers. So advice from people that perform at that level that makes easy $1 million a month. I'll take it, So that's why I don't really care about the followers. I'm just like, let me just make that year and 6 months first, and then I can start thinking about that stuff.
Right.
And I my friends always say this all the time. They're just like, yo, Eli, your video just hit 30,000 views on Instagram. I was like, oh, it did it? I don't look at my Instagram. I'm thinking about the next content I'm gonna throw out there. So I'm just like, oh, okay, that's great. All right, next. I'm happy, I'm proud, but I'm not. I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied. All right, like I'm not at a year, 6 months yet. I'm just 12 months in. So the next 6 months are going to be great, and that's where I'm thinking about little stuff like lighting now, audio, like with that film. Like you want to shoot shots and not just spray them. So I want to shoot shots directly at the algorithm instead of just throwing out content.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because on Instagram, I think that's where I'm growing more. On YouTube, I want that traffic from Instagram to just shoot there, because I think we're doing like 200,000-300,000 views a month on my Instagram. So I want to like pull at least 10,000 people like subscribe, because you only need 1,000 to start making crash. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's interesting the difference of the platforms and what's what trends on some platforms and what doesn't. I don't use TikTok. Oh, I do, but I never did.
I don't like
but for some reason, this podcast, the Reels, they blow up on TikTok.
Perfect.
You know,
have to start using
I'm
it.
like, why? Instagram's okay, YouTube's okay, Facebook not saying nothing, but for some reason on TikTok, I'm like, what is that? What are the differences in the psychologies or
Traffic volume. My first video I posted on YouTube when I first started making any content was 17,000 views, and I was like, yeah, I'm a content creator now. My next video is 1 million, and then I posted on YouTube next one 300 views. I'm just like, oh, okay, YouTube is just effing with me. So when I went on TikTok now, every view is at least 1,000 views, and that's within the first hour.
Right.
So it's just like, wow, it's crazy, like how you can like blow up. So I would encourage any new content creators. I mean, I might sound like a hypocrite because my crew knows I don't like TikTok. But if you want to grow fast, I guess I don't like growing fast. I like the journey. But if you want to grow fast, like let's say like you want to make fitness videos, post them on TikTok.
Yeah, man.
A year, 2 years, you should be at 100,000 followers, and then put the little link, direct them to YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's true.
Yep.
I didn't even want to use TikTok, and then I'm glad I did.
Yep.
You know, because more people are getting access to the podcast through
And
TikTok.
a lot of people from Cayman, like they are on TikTok more than Instagram nowadays. I'm just like, what? I thought Instagram was the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't know because I don't use TikTok, but that's what my friends tell me.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. And actually, when I was posting on TikTok, I at first thought it was just bots. I'm like, kind of like, who the heck are all these people?
It'll give you that vibe. And then you see comments.
But so comments, and you see like Bodden, e-bikes, but like all these Caymanian names. And like, yo, these Caymanians coming out of woodwork on TikTok. Yo. You know what I mean?
I was driving across some police the other day. And I was like, I wonder what they're doing on the iPod. I see them scrolling on TikTok. Oh, they gotta do better. I'm like, are you giving Miss Susanna a ticket? Nah, they're not giving Susanna a ticket. They go in on TikTok watching cooking videos, bro.
That's funny, man.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
So then what's the plan for next year, man? What's your I know you're just producing. I know you're about putting out the content. Snake Part 4, Christmas movie. All both of those getting done before the end of the year.
For sure.
But what you have in mind for 2026?
Next year, in terms of volume and leveraging, I'll be focusing on top of the funnel marketing videos for my Instagram. So top of the funnel is videos that I'll post primarily for views and engagement. And I know how to get views and engagement on Instagram, but I don't want to distract my brand that much. I'm a very niche person. So top of the funnel is basically videos that you make just to get views and get people interested in what you do. And there's a reason why a lot of my top of the funnel content, it always hits 20,000 views, 30,000, because I know that they're going to. Because from a content perspective, it's top of the funnel. So there's always going to be viewers for Instagram to find those.
All right.
Middle of the funnel content is basically content that I post to convert them from viewers to buyers. So that's behind the scenes videos. That's what I do to convert them from views to buyers. Because it shows them like, okay, he says he's a filmmaker. We see it in his bio. Oh, but he's actually posting behind the scenes. He's actually posting a film on this date, and then he's posting behind the scenes. Oh, he's actually a filmmaker. So now they're interested. And then bottom of the funnel is just straight directed, like straight promotion of your product. So I'll post like the thumbnail for the film or the poster for it, and then I'll say, blah blah blah, where did it go? A short film about identity and culture change out now, and then I'll say out now on my YouTube. Click the link in my bio. So that's like direct promotion of your product or service.
That's interesting. Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel,
bottom of the funnel.
All right,
but the reason why I'm going to be focusing the most on top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel for my Instagram, and then on YouTube I'll just still throw out films all year long, but make them better, is because that's where a lot of like the channel and growth is going to come from. Because if we can do at least 1 million views a month off of top of the funnel, which I could definitely do, I just haven't been focusing that much time on it. My YouTube is going to go like crazy, because I was just looking at my analytics off my Instagram, like 2,000 profile visits a week from my Instagram to my YouTube. So I'm just like, oh, okay. People are actually visiting it. So let me get 1 million people to visit it a week, and then YouTube is going to grow. So that's like, in terms of like where I'm putting my time now, top of the funnel. Because if I'm going to spend hours editing, I might as well get the reward out of it, And people are always going to stay on the page and like check out the middle of the funnel
Right,
content.
right,
you know?
right. So
'Cause that's what gets them interested.
Right. So then,
And it's
like-
all organic views. I don't
Right.
use any ads. I told you I don't believe in that. That's a waste of money.
Right.
And there's ways to get even way better views than ads would even get you.
So, for instance, then let me just see if I understand. The Snake for Christmas movie aren't top of the funnel stuff. That's just some stuff that you're doing.
That's middle of the funnel.
That's middle of the funnel. So, but next year you want to concentrate a lot more on the top of the funnel.
Top of the
stuff.
funnel.
I love your top of the funnel stuff. They're hilarious.
Yeah, and that's why like I've been focusing more on the time on it, because they're like, I always see that guy in that video, and then when I build that brand like higher, like probably like everything 3 or 5, that's when I can be like that, because I know at least 1,000 people are going to go there and subscribe, and that would make my monetization.
Yeah, and I think that that's how you caught my attention with your top of the funnel stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you know, because I would see it on IG or whatever, and I would laugh. Like, that was pretty funny actually. And then I just kept watching a few more, and then this one, more middle of the funnel, I guess. But this was, if I didn't watch those, I might not have got here.
Exactly.
So I like that strategy. That's very interesting to think about.
And that's what I do whenever I do brand collaborations. I try to figure out what their brand is, and I'm just like, yo, top of the funnel. Find creative ways to promote your product. Let's say you sell private jets, which I have a buddy that does. He has a page called Amalfi Jets. He literally records his conversations with his clients, and he just puts the camera and he just goes back and forth. And he has 136,000 subscribers now on YouTube. So stuff like that is why I study and I recommend. I do a lot of real estate videos too on the side. I don't talk about that much because it takes a lot of time, and I want to put more time towards mine. But I'll do it every now and then, like once or twice a month. I'll do a real estate video for someone, and I'll show them how to scale their brand. Yeah.
So, what are some good books and stuff that you've read that you might recommend on this topic, on the same topic,
in terms of like scaling brands?
Yeah, and in
Gary
terms
V. Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yes, I do.
Probably read any of his books.
Yeah,
any of his books. How to build influence, how to win influence, and how to win friends and influence people.
I read that one.
Yeah, that one's sick.
Who's the writer? Who's the author again? Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
So that's the first one I read before I started like getting consistent on social media, and that's what made me get consistent.
Why? What was the message in that book?
That one is basically about like detaching from the views and just realizing that you can be a good person, and your purpose will start to radically have a domino effect over people. And just being genuine. I think social media kind of screws up our mindset of being genuine off camera more than on camera. So I feel like how to win friends and influence people is just showing you how to be just be a good person. It says it a lot of the time in the book. Right. And so I read that one, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a book that I've been sent so many times by my pastor, but I was just like, Pastor, you don't know nothing about winning friends. So one day I actually read, I was like, yo, Pastor, thank you so much. I don't know why I didn't listen to you the last 2 years, but I should have read this. The last 2 years would have probably been
that
a year.
experience with books before. Yeah, you just look at it, you're like, I don't want to read that book. And then when you finally read it, you're like, yo, this book is real.
That's one. And then any book by Gary V. Because Gary V is probably the most master of social media ever. Because, he's not as big as Mr. Beast, all these people that have hundreds of millions of followers. But in terms of like the amount of money that he makes off of social media and the amount of money that he's made other people, like he showed other people to like replicate and build their brands and sell their companies for like multiple 8-9 figures. He understands like the business behind social media. Right. And he's actually a good person in real life too. I've never met him, but I've seen like conferences. I've been to conferences that he's been in, and he has a very realistic approach, and he's heavily involved in the social media industry.
I was actually wondering, is that when he came up? Did he come up with social media, or did he kind of exist before social media?
So, like that guy that was telling us about Bitcoin before it happened?
Yeah.
So he's like that with social media.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he's like, yo, guys, in the next 12 years, you see like his first video, he's just like, we need to start posting more. Like, screw your job, screw that. Just pay your bills and build your social brand. Because in a few years, you'll be able to live off it. And people are always telling me, I'm an idiot. But in a few years, they're going to be asking me for help. And bro, if I was the idiot too that didn't listen. If I started being more consistent on social media from when I was 19, I would have probably already been monetized on YouTube right now. But, with college and, the fact that you grew up with traditional parents here in Cayman, they kind of kill the dreams and stuff, and they don't understand that that's all you have to do. If you actually, look at everything 3 for 5, they can live off of they have the highest like promotion. I don't know, like whenever you want to promote an event, everybody's like, oh yeah, talk to Jason for everything 205,
Right.
you know, and he charges them, so he can literally live off of that every month. I'm not saying that he's gonna make big money, but he can live off his influence.
All right.
So it's the same thing with like if you have a dream as a creator out there, I'll tell you guys the same advice Gary Vee gives. So just find a job, pay those bills, and build your brand like hell. Just start high volume, like aggressive. Imagine your mother was gonna die in 6 months if you didn't reach 100,000 followers.
Right.
That's the mindset you have to have.
Right.
You know, so it's aggressive, isn't it?
It's aggressive,
It's
bro.
aggressive.
And the thing about it is that like it's a competition, and if people are out there being that aggressive, how you think you gonna make it if you're not being as aggressive? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, the Caymanian social media industry is growing heavily, and there's a lot of competition. But you just it's just like anything else. Be different, because you can. There's probably guys in Cayman that think about doing the stuff that I'm doing
for sure,
but they can have another niche. They can do like horror films or something like that. You know, like another niche of what I do, or just make like life videos in the way that I do it. You know, basically like my top of the funnel marketing. They can make long form videos of that form.
Right.
So that can be competition with me, but indirect.
Right.
You know, I'm showing you guys how to compete with me, but I'm willing to do this until I die. So I mean, there's really no competition unless somebody else is willing to do that. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys that want to do podcasts. You know.
Yep.
And then, but then they've talked about it for years and
no execution.
No execution, and it's not necessarily easy, but you got to produce. An artist is someone who finishes things. You got to finish.
My buddy in Atlanta told me you have to post at least 450 videos like on your YouTube channel of a podcast before it blows up. Joe Rogan talked about it. He's like, if you want to start a podcast in 2025 and you haven't even posted 500 videos yet, don't even look at the growth. Don't look at the analytics.
True.
That's how he talks. So he's just like, dude, I had a steak the other night. You know, remember that interview with him and Elon Musk where they ordered the pizza in the middle of it? Like, yeah, I love pizza. Yeah. Should we order some right now? That's what Elon Musk told him. He was like, yeah, I think we can order some right now. And 5 minutes later, pizza shows up. So they do but like they live podcasts, you know? Like they're on set for 12 hours a day, every day for the last 15 years.
Yeah, bro.
Those guys live podcasts.
I mean, when I look at his numbers, he's in the thousands, like episode like 4,000 and something. It's just like, yo, that's
4,000 episodes. And probably after the thousands one, that's when he started making money. Or like the 500 one. So who are you to think that after making 5 podcasts that you edited pretty well, you know, I'm gonna give you that you're gonna make money off of it? No. It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game, man. But the thing about Joe is like what we're talking about is that he loves it.
He loves it. You can tell like he was made up put on his earth to do a podcast. Just look at him. Joe Rogan just looks like a podcast guy.
Yeah, for sure. He's the archetypical podcast guy, you know, and he genuinely has fun. He wants to talk to the people. And
he knows how to leverage other people's brands too, like the UFC. You know, like how he like collaborates. That's another way that you can grow too, leveraging like other social media brands. I don't really think of like a big one here in Cayman, but I mean, you can get a few followers off of Cayman Compass if you do an interview with them right here. My friend Antonia, she's just went on an interview with them, so she's doing well. You know, shout out Antonia, big up yourself. She was a girl in the recent skit I had with Cayman and Men, how fast they move on.
Which one? Oh, she's a Spanish-looking girl.
No, she was actually the one with the puffy hair.
Maybe I didn't see that one.
But it was like a skit. I think it was like 31,000.
Well, Gloria was in the one with how quick Caymanian girls move.
How quick Cayman women move on. Yeah,
girls she was in that one, right?
That one did good. I did like, I think 10,000 views in the first day, and then after.
You were in that one too, right?
No, that was Jason Brown.
That wasn't you?
That wasn't me.
You were in one of them though. No,
I was in the one after that. It was about something different.
Okay.
But the first one that I ever made that kind of like got me like more confident in posting top of the funnel was I used to hear my friend my friends tell me their problems. I'm like, bro, you caused it. They ain't my mind, but I wouldn't tell her that.
That's a good idea.
So I was just like, when your friends tell you their problems, but they are the problem. And I did like a skit with my friend telling me, like, you know, he wouldn't expect what happened at work. And I was like, what happened? He was like, my boss fired me. I was like, no way. Like, what going on? Like, what's his problem? He's like, I showed up 35 minutes late. I just gave him a straight face. And I paused it and I put like, I did like a voiceover. I'm like, brother, you show up for a minute, I would fire you too. So that one did like 5,000 views. So that was the first time.
I didn't see that.
I'm gonna say it to you, but that's the first time I ever got more than 1,000 views on a video.
Right.
And then when my YouTube mentor, he was like, start posting top of the funnel marketing. I was like, what is top of the funnel? It was like, you're a filmmaker, right? You like social issues? Okay, post a social issue, like a funny skit. I was just like, how do I do that? It was like, just think. And then he hung up the call. I was like, I hate when it's like it gave me Kung Fu Panda vibes. It's like Master Son just told me what to do and he just hang up. And then sure as hell, I posted a video and it hit 5,000 views. So I called him. I was like, yo, bro, my video just 5,000 views. And he's like, continue. He's like, congrats, continue.
Nice.
So top of the funnel is the way to go for growth. And it's simply just making great content.
Yeah.
I used to think I was shadow banned or there was a secret way to get views and my page couldn't, like 100,000 views. Those were like people that buy them. But my content just sucked. That's why they weren't getting views. So I just made more relatable content and I put it in the top of the funnel format and it went.
So what's top of the funnel format?
Top of the funnel format is basically just making interesting videos. I didn't even know how to put it. That's what he told me. So if you want to, top of the funnel is like make a video that people would watch over and over again at more or less under 30 seconds because that's like the perfect way to blow up, like with short form content. You can blow up with a minute content, but it's more of like podcasts that would give you that blow up, and it would have to be like a public video that everybody would want to watch for it to blow up. But top of the funnel is basically like funny stuff, like, you know, anything and whatever you do visually, make it like, you know, videos with girls and guys. That's the top of the funnel. I do that a lot on my page, as you can see. Character indifferences, like with the Cayman work thing with $500. I know that was gonna blow up. I just had it in my film and I couldn't remember where I had it, so I literally screen recorded it and just posted on Instagram. And then Cayman Famous they're like an entertainment page. They reached out to me. They was like, "Yo, bro, can we collab on that post?" And I was already a day in. It wasn't doing that well. It was like 3,000 views. And I was like, all right, sure. And then when he collaborated, 5,000 views an hour later, 10,000 views. I was like, whoa, this is going up. And I refreshed. Every time I refreshed, it was like 1,000 views more. I was like, no way. These type of views exist in Cayman. And then 2 days later, I'm at 20,000 views. I'm like, wow.
All right.
All organic. So that's showed me the power of collaboration. Because it wasn't their idea. It was mine. But their audience allowed me to like piggyback off of it. And now every video I post that's top of the funnel is expected to hit 20,000 to 30,000 views. So yeah. So it's simply making videos that people will love and want to watch over. That's
it's the repeatable, like you're saying, because a lot of yours I've watched already and then I'll watch again. You know.
So it's top of the funnel.
Yeah,
it's just addictive content. Like make it so relatable that people have to watch it again.
Yeah. It's like the things that people want to say but they haven't said. And so they're watching it and they're like, this is in my mind all the time. You know what I mean? So
yeah, like I literally just posted one the other day. I think it's at like 4,000 or 5,000 views now. It was like when your parents, what was it about? You see, I don't even know my own content because I post so much of it. I have to go on my page. People are like, oh yeah, I like your video. I'm like, which one? I'm like, the one with the girl. I'm just like, which girl? The one with the girl with that. I was like, which girl with that? And I was like, this one. I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. That's the one. But it's like when your parents force you into a career you don't want to do. And it was basically that scene with them at the apartment. And it's doing well. It's like in a day, it's like 4,000 views. So it's doing well. So I expect it to hit.
Okay, so you used it from this film. That's from this film, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And so you used the middle of the funnel and created top of the funnel. Yeah, I guess that's what the reels are for the podcast, right? Which are far more interesting than the podcast. More people watch the reels than
you can take middle of the funnel content and because sometimes. A lot of times, points in our middle of the funnel content are like exciting things that if you just clip it, it'll blow up.
True.
The scene with Michael, $500. That was like probably one of the best scenes that I recorded without a stabilizer or a mic. Well, I did have a mic, but it was just me. It was just like a run and gun rig. And when I was looking, I was like, this is so relatable, but I don't know what to say. So Michael, shout out to Michael Barnes if you're watching this, because he's the one that helped me put the title. He was like, yo, you make it about how Caymanians struggle with work. And I was just like, when Cayman and struggle at work, I'm just like, I don't like that. Well, let's put Cayman and work struggles. And then we posted it first day, 20,000 views. I was like, there we go. Now we got something. Because sometimes simpler is way more. But sometimes you have to make it like explain it for somebody to understand. But everybody would understand like that video. Like, you know, it's just what everybody goes through here in Cayman, you know.
Love it. All right, man. Before we sign off, what other books, what other like stuff have you read that I can go and read?
Before I even started anything to do with film, I read this book called The Art of Selling by Brian Tracy. Or no, The Psychology of Sales by Brian Tracy. And in social media, the biggest part that we have is ourselves. So you got to know how to sell yourself. And I don't like talking about myself, but I like making content that other people can relate to. So that's how I sell myself. So The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. Number 2, we got to read the one that I recommended to you called, what was on? The one by anything by Gary Vee.
Anything Gary Vee.
But there was another one that I recommended you read. Oh yeah, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 you need. I mean, there's all like if you want to become good at filming, I've never taken any film courses. I just watch movies. But if you're the average person that doesn't have a creative like in mind, yeah, go ahead and take a creative like filmmaking course. Just watch like some videos on YouTube about film angles, and just go out there and start creating. My first film was 10 minutes and it was crap. I was just like, I produced it for a month before I posted it. So I was going into that perfectionism thing. And I was just like, yo, bro, I don't care. Post. Yeah. No views. Okay, post. No views. Post. First video that hit 6,000 views with the one with Mike about domestic violence. I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah. So that's what social media is. Just keep posting and then you get a lucky one.
I mean, I think people are scared to post and not get no views. But
this is why I have to tell you guys. Gary Vee talks about this all the time. He was like, one of his mentees told him like, so you're saying if I post one video and it hits 10 million views, my whole life can change? And then Gary Vee was like, yeah. So why wouldn't you want to post? Just think about it.
True.
If you're posting for 5 years and one time out of that 5 years, you hit a 10 million views video and your life just starts blowing up, you'll be happy that you posted for that 5 years. Right. So it's the same thing with what I do. Yeah, I've been posting for 3 years now consistently. Bilateral consistently, I'd say a year, like consistent. Like I don't care how long it takes because you can fail 1,000 times, but you just have to be right once.
And then
your whole life changes. It's like the end of the race. Don't look at the finish line. Just keep running. Keep running.
But some people get caught up with the feeling of posting and no one don't like it. And then it's like,
here's what I have to tell those people is you have to like, I'm not gonna say you have to love it because it's way more than just loving it. Because you can love a girl and you still go cheat, Well, okay, let me rephrase it a different way. You can love a girl, but you can fall out of love. You get me? If she's not doing what she's supposed to do, or if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, or there's no direction or purpose behind the relationship. So it's the same thing with content. A lot of people, like my buddy Mike, he started a podcast a couple of months ago. He hasn't posted for a month now. I'm just like, you don't love it. You're not purpose. It's not your purpose. It's just like it's fun for you, but it's not fun to you. You get me? So here's what I would tell those people that, get discouraged easy from not getting like any views or anything on social media. You just have to have purpose. Like at the end of the day, I was working a job that was making great money before I started posting more consistently, or, when I quit that job. And I, at the time I didn't know what my purpose was. I thought I know I wanted to get in social media, but I didn't know what type of content I wanted to create for the rest of my life. And then when I made my first like film and I started getting about, more connected with God, he showed me like, short films, social issues. And, over time you can make it like a feature film or something like that. But for right now, this is your purpose. So you have to be, for me, I found it in faith. So I don't know if that's going to be the same for anybody else, but from my experiences, I have friends that are 40-year-old that don't even know their purpose yet. And I've seen it's because you're not connected to faith. For me, that's what worked. What works for me might not work for you. But yeah, especially like when you're growing in a business in social media, it's very painful. Especially like when you're stagnating and in your plateau, like in your business, and you don't know what to do. It's very painful. Very painful. So all conditions of reality are painful. So it doesn't really, matter to me as long as the end goal is worth the suffering and pain.
All conditions of reality are painful. Where you pull that out from now?
All conditions of reality are painful.
Yeah.
It's just something that I've learned. All conditions. Because,
life is suffering, the Buddha says.
Life is suffering. I think, that's who said it, but all conditions of reality are painful. I've learned that. I think Alex Hormozy said that. Because he's a very master of how to make. He's like the up and coming Gary Vee now. Everybody's like, he actually he broke a world record this year for selling $100 million worth of books in 24
Who's this guy?
hours. Alex Hormozy.
How you spell the last name?
HORMOZI. Founder of acquisition.com. Alex, you saw him before.
I don't. Maybe that face does look familiar. Yeah.
What? Yeah. $100 million in 24 hours, launched his first book. And people are like, oh, he sold a book and they worth that much? Yeah. If you check out some of his short form content, I think one thing that kind of he talked about that stuck out the most was he said that it was like him talking to himself. I want to make $1 million a year, imitating like someone else. And he's like, $1 million a year isn't even a 1% goal. Like it's not even a 1 out of 100 goal. It's a 1 out of 300, 200.
Right.
So you really think that you're gonna achieve that goal? I think like the 299. So that's what he said, and that really like hit me. He was like, it's unbalanced. Is it's painful. It's scary. It's not even like 1% in America is 600,000. It's not even 1 million. So that's more than the 1% goal. So you can't perform like that and achieve that goal acting like the other 99%. You have to, it's unbalanced. You have to like live a certain period. So you have to live a certain schedule for that period until you achieve it. So he's actually like my inspiration when it comes to social media, and then when it comes to business advice and social media, Gary Vee is the other guy that I would recommend you guys talk to.
How you say Gary V's last name now?
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Vaynerchuk?
Yeah. I actually heard him say his name in a video. I didn't know his last name this whole time. I've been following him.
Well, this is
But Alex Hormozi, yeah, he's the truth.
Alex Hormozi, this is exactly what we were just talking about. Anything you start, you will suck at. You will be embarrassing.
But you will survive.
It won't kill you. It won't kill you if nobody watches your reviews. It won't kill you if you don't get any likes.
YouTube, he posts a lot of videos, like pictures like that. And it's crazy that the same time that he posts them, it always hits me at the right timing. Like the same, like the words. He posted something the other day where I sent it in my film group, and it was very inspiring to a lot of people. That's why I sent it. It was basically, let's see.
Most people think the hard part is getting started. The hard part is continuing to do the work when the excitement wears off and the grind feels hopeless. Either sell extremely expensive to a select few or sell something super cheap to everyone. The middle is where people die. You have to risk looking broke to get rich. You have to risk looking weak to get strong. You have to risk looking desperate to get loved. Egos hold back more dreams than failure and rejection ever will. That's very true. You have to look broke, you have to look weak, and you have to look desperate. That's so hard for people to do. That's very hard for people to do.
I learned that in college because I was living off of $500 a month for everything.
Yeah,
including rent.
All right.
So it's crazy, right? Wow. Aggressive. Most of that went towards. Most of my college tuition went towards the college tuition because out of state is like $40,000. I was $40,000 in debt at 18 years old.
How much?
$40,000 in debt.
$40,000,
and it was paid off by 19 when I graduated. Yeah, I worked a job and then I got a scholarship from FIU and then the government as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's huge, though.
Yeah, it is.
That's a big hole to dig yourself out of.
It is. And I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know what debt was. So when my mother told me that, she was like, yeah, you're $40,000 in debt.
You're like,
okay,
I mean?
all right.
You're like, all right, yeah, sure, okay.
I thought it was like
I'm just living my life. I feel pretty normal.
Like, we'll be fine. What is that? I don't know what the credit score is. What is that? Wow. I feel like when you don't think about those stuff, when you just actually put the work in to pay it off, or like the work that will help you accomplish the goal, you just become so detached from it that the burden isn't really there anymore. It's there, but it's not there. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah. Cool, bro.
But he said hard work is the goal. I found the quote.
Hard work is the goal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hard work is the goal.
Yeah. It's like there's another, how's the quote go? Like, we were talking about this the other day too. It's like, grind is my rest. You know, hard work is the goal.
I feel the least anxious when I'm working or editing.
Amen to that. Yeah. Very true. Very, very true.
Hard work is the goal. Even I get way more anxious when I'm not filming or not editing. I don't know why. Like my hands get sweaty and stuff.
Yeah. Because you have to produce, you have to create. That's part of who you are.
It's a
and
burden
if you're not doing that, then your mind.
That's another thing that we have to warn him. When you start this creativity, you can't stop. It's like a divorce. You know, it keeps going on for the whole time. It's never going to stop. You will lose your mind. You know, but you know that's where purpose comes in, though, because no one talks about this, but the spiritual energy you receive from God fuels any type of work. Shift or schedule or that you're sticking to. because it's a spiritual power. It's not physical no more. Because the average person can't work 15 hours, 18 hours a day on physical, like relying on himself physically. You have to tap in spiritually at some point in your day. I like doing it in the morning.
What do you do in the morning?
Read the Bible.
Yeah.
Go outside for a walk. I have this book called The Prayers by Ellen G. White. There's a lot of biblical stuff, and that gives me the spiritual I need before I start my day. This morning, got up at 4:30, read the book. When I met up with a friend for tea at her apartment, and yeah, we just talked, and got straight to work after that.
So what has your relationship with God been like in your 22 years of life?
I'll say the worst part about my spiritual journey when before I actually accepted God as my savior. I was like 18 when I first moved away, because you moved away for a different village, a different country.
Right.
I guess you could say village, because in Cayman it felt like that.
Sure.
But yeah, and then you thinking, you have all these big dreams for yourself, and when it doesn't work out, you're like, what do I do now? Where do I go? You're blaspheming God. Stuff like that, and you're living in the world. And for me, I was idolizing way too many things. Like, I'll give you like example, like women. I was idolizing women. I was living in the world, alcohol, drugs, all those stuff. And going on the retrospect, when I was 19, I had like this night of like blackout. I was drunk and stuff, but it was something way deeper. It was like a spiritual encounter, visions. I actually visioned myself falling into hell. And God stopped me before I fell into hell. And from that day, I don't know, it was just like a complete 180-degree turn. So everything that I was doing, everything that you would expect the healthiest person in the world to do, like healthy in terms of every form, I was doing. I don't know what, like God just, he blew it on me.
Right.
It just went.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah, I started, overcoming lust, all those stuff. And I was free for the first time in my life. I think I was just living in a cage from 0 to 18, like mentally free, and just that's where I found my purpose when I was 19. I didn't know I was going to do something like this, but I didn't know what, because I wasn't seeking God that much, so He can make my vision clearer. So I think faith is a big part about being a creative, because in this field you need faith.
That's true.
Because I thought I would have blown up by now. Young Eli did. But as I'm going more towards God, I'm just like, I'll wait for as long as it takes. Same thing with marriage. You gotta wait for as long as it takes, boy. Can't just get in there. But
yeah, man.
It's really a spiritual journey, bro. And I'm glad that I got rooted in faith, because I'm not really attached to views. That's why whenever somebody tell me like, yeah, your video at 30K now, I'm just like, oh, okay. I don't really feel anything. Right. I'm glad that I'm getting those type of engagement.
Right, I hear you.
But I don't feel anything anymore.
Right.
I think the one time that I felt like happy about views was the first time I ever got views. My first video hit 17,000 views. And that was it. And it's never quite been the same. After that, I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care, bro. Like, is every video hitting that, or are people like texting me, reaching out to me, telling me like they're inspired by my art? That's why I like more.
Right.
I don't care about the views anymore. Because those views are definitely going to come, if I keep being consistent. But in terms of like idolizing them, yeah, and that's what God showed me. He put in my spirit to stop idolizing them and just do like purposeful content that people can relate to, because that's what's going to give me the end result. Like you said, if you're exactly where you want to be, everything else will fall in line. Yeah, yeah, man. But how about you? How has faith been for you, like in the creative process?
In the creative process, I mean, it's funny. I've always been surprised at how many faithful people are creatives. For some reason, I always looked at it more as, Christians would not be into the arts. But I found quite the opposite, actually. There's many, many Christians in the arts. For me, it's very similar to you. I told this to you when we had coffee. Like, I had like sort of my crisis of life was that I realized one day I wasn't creating. And that, it was just sort of my life. I was just drying up. I was withering. And then that's when I picked up the camera and started, just shooting. And, it wasn't for me so much, a direct conversation of God. God didn't speak to me directly. He spoke to me very generally in the different parts of my life.
That's cool.
That sort of, come together.
Yeah.
When I look back, I'm like, okay, I interpret that as God. And, but it was the same thing. It was, I was not being who God made me to be. I was being somebody else. And that was, and that changes everything for you once you realize that, because then you have the permission to be you. You have the freedom to be you. You feel better about being you. You don't really care what other people think.
As you say that, it reminded me, like, going back to, like, the faith thing. I think at 18, I was talking to my friend about this the other day. And I was telling her, like, she was like, I was telling her about how some people ask me about motivation and stuff, given the fact that I've been posting for years with no progress. And I was just like, for me, when I was 18, I just hated, like, my current existence, like how I was, like, living, or, like, what people thought about, like, what I thought about myself. Like, I just hated Eli's existence. So for me, that was powerful enough to get me out.
Interesting.
So for me, I just hated my current existence.
Right.
So that was just powerful enough to get me out. So you have to hate something. For me, I just hated my current existence.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I hated not living in God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say, when you are aspiring to something, it is just as relevant to not only know what you aspire to, but to know what you don't aspire to. So, like, if you don't do this, where will you go? And you kind of flesh that out in your mind, and you know what that is. You're like, and then that's the thing that you hate. It's like, that's not what I want. I know what not only do you know what you want, but you know what you don't want.
True.
Right? And to be able to understand that. So I think you do have a point when you say you have to hate something.
Yeah.
You do have to hate a place that you don't want to end up.
Yeah.
Because you could end up there.
Because you can be easily influenced of this world, like, if you're not rooted deeply in it, It's very easy in a distracted society, not just in Cayman, but in the world. The world is full of distractions. It's so easy for us to not focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that on a song once. But I actually realized that it's true. The world is so full of distractions that it's hard for us to focus. So when we find that purpose, block out everything. I think that's the real treasure. People say getting married and stuff is a treasure. I'll say finding your purposes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because then you live life on a different...
And then you can find your partner. You could find your wife or your husband at that point.
Because if you find your purpose, that's what they're going to be attracted to.
Right, exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
Exactly.
It's crazy. I'll tell you this.
Right.
My girl, my crush is 38. You know this too. Don't put this on there though, because she going to know.
I think you want her to know, bro.
She might watch it.
Well, if she watched all the way up to this time, right, she probably has a crush on you too. So
if she watched all the way up until this point, she's definitely the one. Oh boy.
Yo, this has been great. Thanks a lot for coming on it.
Of course, man. Thanks so much for having me.
We just met not even a week ago. Congrats on the content and stuff that you've been putting out. It's been inspiring. I really love that film a lot. I look forward to seeing all your content. I look forward to working together.
Of course.
I'd love to produce for you.
You guys can look out for that. I'm telling you that the Christmas film is going to happen.
There you go. You got a lot of stuff to look out for by the end of the year from Eli here.
Yep.
So follow him. Elihandro Bodden.
Yep. On
Instagram and YouTube, right?
Yep. Same across all platforms. So if you look for me, you'll find me.
Bro,
imagine me having like a name that's like Elon Musk naming his child like 12-E2X. Like, what type of username is that? Well, thanks so much, bro.
Yo, yeah, man. You too. Bless.
Thanks so much for having me, bro.